Starting over. We're starting over. We're starting over. It's time to start over. So I've just been recording a static screen of the title screen of this game for 25 minutes straight because I used the wrong setting in OBS. I used like window capture instead of game capture because I had it set on display capture for something, and I didn't realize that I thought that window capture was how I had it on when it would work, and that game capture wouldn't work. Because this is technically not a game, it's an emulator playing a game. But no, it's game capture is the game capture is the thing that I need that's what I needed to use. So luckily I had a save state because I actually overwrote this save here. I just remade it, but yeah. So I'm not gonna explain what happened last time. You're just gonna have to remember that. God damn it. Gotta do everything again. It wasn't that much, but I'm glad I realized when I went to end the episode. Maria's dead. I couldn't protect her. Once again, I couldn't do anything to help. Laura has run off somewhere. Mary, what should I do? Are you really waiting for me somewhere? Or is this your way of taking what, James? I'm going to find Mary. It's the only thing I have left to hope for. Anyway. You know what? I didn't go down here this way before, but, maybe I will. I'll show you what's going on. Oh, hey. Get those shotgun shells. Those will be useful. So yeah, now we gotta go from here to over to here, but now how do we do that? Do we have to go through the back to the apartments again? Gosh, I sure hope not. No, don't worry. There's actually a door that we couldn't get into before, but we can get into now. Can't go that way though. We couldn't just step through that or anything. So, I mean, you know. Wait, is there an item over there? What is that? Is that a note that I've never seen before? I'm gonna have to go around. I'm gonna have to go in there, aren't I? Maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe it's just some garbage here, right? Probably just some garbage. Anyway, yeah, this part of the remake, I'm gonna try to recreate what I was talking about before, which, here I was talking about how, this part of the remake is kind of expanded, made more fucked up. You're in a full-on Otherworld version of the streets, not just the super dark version. It's not fucked up like Silent Hill 1, metal grating stuff, but you know, it's way worse and more dilapidated and stuff, and you really gotta go through, and there are a lot more mandatory enemies fighting you gotta do. And I mean, it's basically a big set piece, right? It's very scripted compared to this, where it's, you know, it's kind of yeah, you know, there are ways that are blocked off and everything, which you kind of, it's just kind of the street that you were on before, and now you gotta find your way back. Whereas in the remake, it's very much, you know exactly where you're fucking going. But I don't really mind it. It's good, and it's pretty scary, actually. In general, I think the remake is pretty scary. And it put me in a very the kind of paranoid state of mind, you know, good horror puts me in. Ooh, rifle shells. We don't even have the rifle yet. So there's also a lot of supplies we can get around here. We're gonna get those. So yeah, the remake, and I'm not saying oh, it's superior, it's scarier. No, this game used to be really fucking scary to me. It was one of the reasons I had such a hard time completing it until I got a little older. It's fucking scary. The remake, the original is probably scarier. At least it was originally. It's not so much anymore, but you know, the remake is one of the scariest games I played in recent years because after the Silent Hill games, it becomes kind of difficult to scare me. Most horror movies don't scare me. Most horror games don't scare me. And that's because I played these games at a young enough age to where, like, well, that's my threshold. This shit is my threshold. Especially like Silent Hill 3. It's really good for that. Really good for building up your tolerance to horror, I think. Play that at a pretty young age, you'll be good. But yeah, it gets me to a paranoid state where, like, something will fall over off of, like, the trash can in the kitchen, and I'll be like, what the fuck was that? Oh god. Was it a monster? Is there a monster in my house? I know monsters aren't real, but what if they actually are? Maybe they actually are, and I just haven't met one yet? Maybe I am now, and it's gonna kill me and eat me. I don't know. And so, even though I know that that's obviously not true, because I was, like, just going all in on playing it, I didn't leave my house for a few days, and when I finally did, I went for my nightly walk, and it was like, I kind of don't like being out here. What was that weird droning noise? I know that weird droning noise is always here because there's like something around here. What was that weird noise? Oh, I know that was it's probably the highway nearby, but what if it isn't? What if there's something out here? And obviously, the worst that's going to happen to me is I'm going to get, like, attacked by a homeless guy with a knife or something. But it just puts me in that kind of mindset. Even, like, really retarded things I'll think of for, like, a half a second, where it's like, I go out and it's nighttime and I haven't left the house for a while, so I haven't actually seen the sunlight. And so I'm like, wait, what if the sun has been gone this whole time and I just don't know, and my memories have been replaced, and what if there never was a sun, And it's like, obviously, no. That's why I only think of for like a half a second, but if you can make me paranoid enough that I'm thinking retarded shit like that, that's how you know that you did a good job and you made your thing scary, because you got me into a stupid ass headspace, So here we have the Mandarins. I always want to call them the Closers because they look like the Closers from Silent Hill 3, but they are not the Closers from Silent Hill 3. And, they're wimps. They suck. They only show up like 2 times, and you can just run past them. You have to literally stand there waiting for them to shoot the little arm things at you and up out of the grates. Yeah, they suck ass. So, oh hey, another first aid kit. Yeah, the remake does improve those to where they're a bigger threat to avoid when they're under the grates. And there's one that's a mini boss, and he's pretty tough. Or she. They're all very feminine still, weird feminine monsters. So yeah, that's an improvement. There are some things that are improvements over the original. Also, this diner you have to go through this. There's like a big hole in the street in the remake. This segment in the remake is probably overall, I would say, an improvement of it, because in the end this is really linear anyway. They even block more streets off for you. And the best you get is like, there's some extra supplies around. Like this. Silent Hill's just nice spawning items on in for you. This reminds me, there was actually some notes that I could find around here that I simply didn't. I gotta make sure that the recording is working. Okay, it is. Okay. Previously I noticed that the stoplights work. I didn't notice that. Like, this actually changes from red to green. I never noticed that before. But yeah, the remake version is actually probably better, scarier, more oppressive. I definitely really like it. If the whole game were like that, I would say it's on par, but you know. So if I look at this as if I examine it, it'll give me points toward the in water ending, so I'm not going to do that. But if I just look at it like this, it's fine. If you really want to see Mary, you should just die. But you might be heading to a different place from than Mary, James. Now that's weird. Why would James be going to a different place than Mary, huh? I think that's the significance of the there's a hole here, it's gone now line, and why this shows up at this point in the game. Because this shows up because the hole is almost here again. It's going to come back. He's starting to remember. That's why he said that line after leaving the hospital, you know. So, forget that, though. Forget that deep shit. We gotta go get those, the letter and the wrench. And avoid these guys. Find more supplies. Where are we? Now, hold on, Miss Monster Lady. I gotta hold on. Just hold on. Okay. I'm just trying to orient myself. Don't attack me. They're very kind. They're very considerate. They, you know, they wait while you're checking your map. I'm pretty sure they don't while you're picking up items, though. So be careful of that. Reading notes, though, they'll totally wait for you. There are a lot more monsters out than normal, though. I got a wrench. I got a rock. Or perhaps you are a fool. The truth usually betrays people. Man, I had a great line that I had said after this, but I didn't set it up this time, so you're just not gonna get it. Part of that abyss is in the old society. The key to this society is in the park, at the foot of the praying woman, inside of the ground, inside of a box. To open it, I need a wrench. My patient buried it there. I knew, but did nothing. It made me uneasy to have such a thing near. I wasn't looking for the truth. I was looking for tranquility. I also saw that thing. What thing? I fled. The museum was sealed as well. Now, no one dares approach that place. If you still do not wish to stop, James, I pray the Lord to have mercy on your eternal soul. What are you talking about? Why would I need that? What do you mean? Huh? What's going on? Am I gonna die? Does this that just mean I'm gonna die? What's going on? What do you mean? Huh? You trying to hint at something? What are you hinting at? What do you mean, James, we can't go this way? There's a blockade. Oh, but the tape's broken, so it's fine. So I mean, we're mostly just gonna hightail it to the end there, you know. Just ignore that one. Don't need to bother him. Yeah, see, like, these work. These work. That's what I noticed before. It was weird. It's like some kind of fucked up bunny. Fucked up bunny ears. I think you can't even get back into the apartments, actually. I think James will be like, I don't need to go in there. So here we have the door that wakes in darkness, opening into nightmares. It was locked before, but it's not locked now, because it's in darkness. It opens in darkness. I didn't examine that before. I'm sorry, I forgot. Please forgive me. So now there's some more items around here, you know, that we can go find, and I'm gonna go find them again. And try to avoid getting hit by evil nurses with pipes. I mean, I guess they're not evil, really. I don't really think they have they're like malicious or anything. I think it's. I don't think they have a consciousness even. I don't even know. I mean, you know, they're probably not evil, right? All things considered. Although they're certainly murderous and violent, so and creepy looking. So, it doesn't matter. I guess, you know. If you're gross and creepy looking, you know, people are gonna kill you. Or at least run away from you. So let's run away from them. Oh, here we go. I was mentioning how their footsteps are very wet sounding, which ties into a recurring motif of like water, drowning, you know, water damage, waterlogged, drowning something out, you know. James's personal view of the way the place looks is very wet, soaked to the bone. So we can go here to this place and we can save. I'm gonna save again since you know, my recording is working this time. This is not the same end from the first game. It's very similar though. This is not the same area because the Indian Runner is not here. You know, different place. Somewhere around here is the doghouse for when you're getting the dog ending, but it's only on New Game Plus. I'm not gonna get the dog ending. I can't get the dog ending. Sorry. I am gonna watch a video of the other endings. When I get whichever ending I get is gonna be the. At this rate, yeah, I'm doing well. It's gonna get me. I'm gonna get the leave ending, for sure. I think. I mean, I might not. Who knows? It's the exact criteria is somehow not really known. I think, just, you know, despite the fact we can just data mine that stuff, right? Anyway, here we go. Victim of persecution by the Puritans, or maybe just Christians. Probably not. Probably Puritans. Jennifer Carroll lived in it with pride and honor. What happened here shall never be forgotten. Gotta dig this up. And you see, there's a box in here. But we can't open it because it's got this thing. So I gotta do this. And get the key. The old bronze key. that goes to the Silent Hills Historical Society. Yes, the Sisterhood of Silent Hill. No, it goes to the Silent Hill Historical Society, and so that's where we're going next. What? Yep. Yeah, I do think that the remake actually does this part better, but I mean, it is also missing kind of an element that makes this good too. It's more oppressive, but this is kind of more like it's kind of lonely, kind of dreary. It's like there's just nothing here except you and the monsters. Which is, I mean, that's true for the remake too, but it does feel like a different kind of horror and feeling, different from the original. But I do kind of prefer the remake's version. Although, I mean, that only works because the remake is kind of a different game in that sense. Has a different feel to it. Okay, so here we are at the Historical Society. This is where I was when I realized I fucked up. Gonna keep going for a little bit more here, but not too much more. Be a little bit shorter of an episode. Because I'm about to go in somewhere. Nothing of particular interest inside the case. Did you hear that? Probably used to be a painting here. Only the explanation remains. Waterfront landscape. Oop. Alan Smith. Date of birth and death unknown. Wait a minute, there's more. A scene of this area from long ago. From the style, it looks like it was done sometime around 1820. There were a lot fewer people then. Only a handful of buildings. Let's put off looking at that one. Photo is hanging here. Volt's coal mine. The coat mine, I almost said. The coat mine. It's one of those. That's more of a Japanese thing, though, guys. We don't really... I don't know if we really do photos like that. I've only ever seen those in Japanese fiction, honestly. Or Asian fiction, generally. So, Misty Day. Remains of the Judgment. It's him. There's a lot of debate that goes on, like... Is this painting actually as it appears right now? And thus, that's where, he comes from? That's why, it's conjured out of James's mind and to look like that? Or was the executioner in this painting more normal? Was the painting more normal originally, and it's been warped by Silent Hill, taking on the shape of this of the one that he's been seeing around, because it's projecting from his mind, and he associates that because part of him knows that what Pyramid Head is, that it's here to judge him, to execute him. And so he's associating like it with an executioner in his mind, and thus the painting is looking like that. Or yeah, again, did he Like, does Pyramid Head look like that? Because that's he remembers this painting when he's seen her before, and it's like, either way, he knows that what Pyramid Head's goal and what function is. But which is it, right? Is the painting warped, or is this how it really looked? Thus, that's where the design, the look comes from. Or did he supply the look to the painting? Did he supply the look to the painting, or did the painting just supply the look to Pyramid Head? Who knows? We don't know. We don't know. No one knows. Um, Personally, I think it's that the painting is kind of warped. This kind of doesn't feel like a painting you'd really hang in a little museum like this in a small town. So but who knows? And it doesn't really matter. There's nothing useful written on them. There's nothing particularly special about this photograph. What was saying here? Brookhaven Hospital. Hey, we were there. 1880. This hospital was built in response to a great plague that followed a wave of immigration to this area. Goddamn immigrants! It was originally little more than a shack, but gradually it grew and grew. But then it became a mental hospital somehow. I don't really remember the lore reasons for that. A photo of the director of the old Brookhaven Hospital. Looks like he was a famous person in town. His role is expanded in the remake in a weird way that's strange. It's kind of implied that he is James, maybe, or at least he's like a parallel to James, or he's like actually someone that was taking care of James when he was like institutionalized for something. Like I feel like the remake kind of implies James was institutionalized at one point, whereas this is not. So there's a photo of a deep, deep hole. What could this be? Remember that. I believe in here, if you're on the New Game Plus, one of these, there's a silver chalice that will help you get that ending. One of the items you need for the rebirth ending. So anyway, we need to go down this way. You might want to turn up the volume so you can hear that weird foghorn. It's actually gotten quiet for me. I don't remember it doing that. Maybe it is getting louder, yeah. Oh, it is. It is. Fitting more in the themes of the water and everything. The motif. It sure is a long staircase. I'm trying to keep straight, which should be easy with tank controls, but... There, that's good. No, I'm totally drifting to the left here. Oh, there we go. We can't even look back. So here we are. And that's where I'm ending this episode. It ended up being not a short episode, actually. Oh well. See you next time.